We should get rolling here. Any change to the agenda, Mark?
Madam Chair, I do need about a minute in non-public session. I have a couple of support staff nominations.
Okay. And minutes of January 3rd and the non-public minutes, do we want to carry them together and approve those minutes? Did anyone see any typos or any mistakes?
No.
Okay, so a motion to accept those minutes?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Fabulous. Privilege of the floor, no. Superintendent report.
I have one item, Madam Chair. Today, I received in my office a petition from families in Thornton that live on 175 North, above the crossroad, where the buses cross over Thornton. Well, you'd be heading up that way toward the Gore. And let me hand it out, and then I will tell you what there are some circumstances that have changed, and get your take on it.
Okay.
Some of you may remember that this issue came to us probably 5 or 6 years ago from families that live up that way asking to extend the route. We did a cost analysis with the Robertson Transit at the time. The board said no, and there was an appeal to the Department of Ed, and the Attorney General had stepped in and said that we don't have to extend. We don't have to have busing for grades 9 through 12. So your decision stood. The changing circumstances, Robertson Transit now has moved their location up to the crossroad, on the crossroad, right across the street from the Thornton Town Hall. So I don't know where the starting point and ending point is, but I do think, as a matter of fairness, that I would like to request that you allow me to contact Robertson Transit and see if now with their new location, would there be a cost, and if so, what would it be, at least so that you had that information.
Yes.
I move that he be allowed to do that.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah. All right.
Thank you. I will I'll report back to you at our next full board meeting, which is beginning of February.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Bill.
How far is the bus stop from there?
Well, the bus stop at the crossroad is the last bus. The bus comes up 175 and then takes a left across the crossroad to pick up 3 and head back. Yeah. So both areas that still remain in Thornton above the crossroad, those folks come down. They're saying 3 to 4 miles. I'm not sure. I've never driven that way, but I never clocked the mileage on it. But it's probably a sizable distance.
Well, whereas we aren't required by law to pick them up anyway, the law that says you can have kids walk up to a mile to a bus stop.
Well, that's
we don't pick, but we don't. Yeah, but it doesn't apply to.
No, it doesn't.
The 9 through 12, any of the laws.
That's right.
So it's just been our policy, not that we've hung our hat on.
Well, we had
practice.
When your original articles of incorporation, you agreed to bus routes on what were called trunk lines, and so that when the routes were laid out, that crossroad made sense to move from 175 over to 3. And the argument was, well, you know, the kids on East Holderness Road have a long haul to come down to Route 3, and the same, the Wentworth kids, the Stinson Lake kids, you know, everybody at some point has a haul. So, but you know, the argument is, well, we are on a trunk road. Route 3 is a trunk road. We're not asking you to go up a road or down a road. So, but I'm just curious to see how the bus company would handle this, and as a matter of fairness, at least get, if there is a price, get it. And who knows, maybe with a new company, they'll say, no, we'll run a bus up there, it's all right. We'll see. You never know.
Great, thank you. And no student this evening?
No, he's good. He told you he had midterm.
Okay, principal report?
Great break, Madam Chair. Just we're concluding tomorrow is the last day. We get it in for midterms. And semester 2 will start on Thursday, but it has been a smooth week. The kids have been working real hard, so hopefully we get tomorrow in to finish it off.
Don't cancel school. Don't cancel school.
Yeah, that'd throw the kids for a loop because they haven't studied.
Yeah, no, if there's a delay, they just go in and do one exam?
If there's a delay, it works, you know, they just take their last 2 midterms, it's fine.
Okay.
The school will get done at regular time at 2:30, 2:20.
Oh, I see.
So the kid, yeah, they'll come in at 9:30
Okay.
like they always do, and they'll take their first midterm. It just backs up lunch, which isn't a problem.
Okay.
We just have a big lunch, and the administration will control that.
Okay.
I think the snow's supposed to stop pretty early though, right?
I'll stop early enough, but, you know,
Well,
I trust these guys.
Well, the latest, we had a conference call with the state, the Weather Bureau and the State Highway. Do you remember those, Phil? But what they're telling us is that the last of it is between 6 and 8 in the morning, and that the potential is there's a tail of, with the temperature rising, there can be a tail of sort of foggy or drizzly mix of frozen rain. So, you know, it's on paper, you'd look at it and say it looks like a delay, but you know, we'll have to wait and see, to be honest with you. Just really never know. And sometimes the storms speed up, and the last of it is 4 in the morning, and you wake up and everything's done. So just have to wait and see.
Sounds good. Okay, thank you. So facilities, we meet February 20th, policy and budget as well, and program and staffing. And then SCC.
We had our meeting, if I could
Okay.
do a little bit of an update, yeah. So we're still in the process of discussing having gym count as a half a credit, having a varsity sport count as a credit of PE. It's been a great discussion. There's been a lot of talk. Our next meeting, I believe in March, we'll do an official decision, vote. It's been interesting to hear the kids' perspective versus the administration versus parents. It's really, it's been a great conversation. We can talk more specific, I think, after the vote, but it's been a good conversation. I think for the most part, we're all on the same page, even the kids. So it's been good.
Great.
We're waiting for a complete draft to be formulated and agreed upon at the next meeting so we can bring it to the board.
You think that'll be next month?
It will, I think it'll be March.
Definitely.
March, okay.
March.
All right, great.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, great. Discussion items, National Athletic Trainers Association
Yes,
recognition.
as you know, this high school and this SAU have made a real commitment to honoring the statute with regard to concussion awareness and rehabilitation, not only for athletes but for every student. And John Dooley has worked very, very hard to, along with our school nurses and our support staff that work out at recesses, to monitor kids, and we do that also with our coaches. And so for all of that work, we have been awarded a first team designation from the National Association of Trainers. And we're pretty proud of it. It's a 3-year, I guess, appointment to that status through December of 2019. And it's a recognition of all the work that not only John, but the coaches and teachers and everyone are doing. Until you start tracking this stuff, you have no idea the number of concussions that take place at recess and kids falling down on playgrounds, kids falling here, falling there. So we're very much aware now of these things, and I think the comments that I've gotten back from parents and also from primary care physicians' offices with the pediatricians who work with the kids, I think we're doing a really, really good job of this. So I wanted you to know, as well as the public to know, that we did get the Safe Sports School Award first team. So congratulations, Mr. Parsons and the whole gang here. You know, we take it seriously, we take sportsmanship seriously, so it's not just about wins and losses.
Is that something for the whole SAU or just the high school? Or?
It's designated to the high school because that's where the trainers are, that's the organization. But what we do at the high school, we're also doing in the elementary schools.
Okay.
So.
Thank you. Yeah, congratulations. Nice job, Bruce. Electric savings the first 3 months?
Yes, attached to your agenda tonight, you'll see electric use comparison, October, November, and December of 2016, juxtaposed to 2015. And as you know, we redid the systems this summer. So this is the first real quarter we got to look at. You've seen some monthly results. But over the 3-quarter period, we've saved 162,000 kilowatt hours, and that's 41.45%. And that is at the kilowatt hour cost of 8.727 cents. That's just over $14,000 in real savings. So you project that out over the entire year, you're around $55,000. Now the use is not as heavy in one of the quarters as it is here, but we're pretty pleased. We're pretty pleased so far with, and we are exceeding the expectation. The expectations were about 30%. So we're at right now for 41.5% savings. So it's actually working, and we're pleased. And then we will have the energy numbers at the end of the winter in terms of cost of fuel, the cost of wood and the cost of propane versus our historical trends with #2 fuel oil. So, and we'll have that after the winter season, so we'll get a real apples to apples look at this.
That's great. Okay, bond hearing preparation.
Yes, I want to, we're going to do it a little bit differently tonight for the bond hearing. We're going to focus a little bit more on money and the why we're doing this project. At our budget hearing, we did a look at, what's it going to look like and how much does it cost. I saw people on the street, and I'd like to say thanks to Channel 3. There's a great viewing audience for this, and the comments were not so much of what are you doing, it's hey Mark, why are we doing this? And so we heard that, and so I'm going to be leading off tonight talking about deferred maintenance and how much things would cost if we didn't do this project. So we have a handout that was, I asked the architects, this is what I'd like to do, can you do a chart that sort of highlights that, and they did a great job at it. So let me hand this out and just sort of walk through it so you know what I'll be talking about tonight and the idea of what the numbers look like. Quick summary is, why are we doing this project? And the answer is because we have deferred maintenance costs of about $3.33 million. We've done some cosmetic things to this building, rugs, little bit of lighting, minor things, but basically the interior of the building, the core of the building, is the same as was built in 1983. And it's certainly all of that equipment doesn't owe us a thing. We need to come into the 21st century in terms of our systems, and you just saw what the impact is when you upgrade systems. But what I'd like to do tonight for the folks is to say, you know, it's an opportunity to get 75% federal state aid on the parts of the project that qualify, and those numbers you have. But if we don't get to do this project, then we will have to begin taking on these projects one-on-one, and then, quite frankly, doing the financing by ourselves, which means we're going to pay $1 on $1. And so when you look at our deferred maintenance, you can see the chart, the areas from autos, HVAC, building trades area, fire alarms, doors, culinary arts, all of that will tell you what we need to do. And a lot of this is there are code issues. And the fire chief has been very patient with us because obviously, as a taxpayer himself, he would like us to get as much return on this investment as we possibly can. So all in all, you're looking at the facility right now needing about $2.7 million in immediate repairs. Now, obviously, we wouldn't be putting that in the budget for next year if the bond proposal went down, but sizable chunks of these things would have to be done. We would be looking at, quite frankly, sitting with the fire chief and saying, what's the most immediate issues from a code standard? And that probably would be a new fire alarm system and all of those sorts of expenses. So those are the things, these are the sorts of things that will have to happen. And in no way am I trying to blackmail anyone or say, you better do this or else. Just it's the reality of the condition of the building and where we are right now. Excuse me. The next area is programs and equipment. That's just to upgrade our autos program, our culinary equipment, and then the new digital media program, and that's $412,000. That would be the cost of getting that equipment in here to the facility. And then the trom wall, which is basically replaced the existing failed trom wall. I think Ross asked for, what's that number in isolation? It's $250,000 to take that off and fix the side of the building. So that adds a tremendous amount of heating costs to us in terms of cooling costs, I should say. That gets awful warm over there, even though the system doesn't work. It attracts all the heat in the worst time of year for us. So we're going to walk through some of this in terms of what would happen if we don't pass the bond. And this obviously, probably this kind of work would be done over a period of probably 10 years if we had to break it down and do it piece by piece by piece. So that's the why are we doing this. And then how we're going to do it is, Dan will go over the numbers. We're comfortable now looking, we've looked at 5 and 7 years and 10 years. We're pretty comfortable now with a 10-year note. There will be extra interest involved, but I think in terms of the folks paying the bills, the interest rates are low enough so it makes a little sense to break it out a little longer than we may normally do. And then Bruce is going to walk through the project itself. Bruce knows this project better than anyone, and Chris gave you the overview the other day, but Bruce will really take you through the program and make connections between the facility itself and what goes on with the program. And that's something obviously an architect wouldn't know because they're just dealing with the building, they don't know us. Bruce has a good handle on it. So it's another look for people to hear a couple more different voices and a different perspective on this here at the bond. But remember, this meeting is statutory requirement if you want to borrow money. And the focus will be on why are we doing it, what's it going to do for us, and how much is it going to cost.
Are you going to touch base on the number of kiddos in the program?
I will do that, yeah.
Comparison to
I'm going to do that. I'm not going to overwhelm them with charts and that stuff.
No.
Because they really can't see the actual renovation. I'll talk briefly a little about the history, and I'll talk about numbers and square footage.
Perfect.
We do have some charts that we hope the camera will pick up tonight. They're made specially for the camera to pick them up, so hopefully. But the feedback I got from folks who did watch the other night was they were on top of it. They heard the numbers and they heard the issues, and I think they wanted, after looking at it, they wanted a little more depth in, well, what happens if we don't do something, and can you tell us a little bit more about the program? So we'll do our best we can tonight to sort of fill those holes.
And hopefully I can, in the past we've done that. I've offered this. I will invite people in to sit with me to go through the actual drawings, and I can take them through. And a lot of people do like that. So hopefully they'll take our offer and come in if they need to actually see, exactly what we're going to do.
Any other feedback? Any other?
No, it was positive. I think
Okay.
people know that we haven't done much with this side of the building, and I think people realize the connection between present-day jobs and the skills that kids learn in this program. So I think we're dealing with a very positive audience, but we have to make the pitch to say this is why we need to do this.
Phil?
I think it's great to have the focus on need for those people who are the naysayers, to know there is a real need. This isn't just something we thought of. So I think this is great. So it was nice. It's good.
Yeah.
Any other questions? A great approach. It's a great approach. Other business?
Yeah, I had something.
Yes.
In my travels today, I came across a large company truck, and it had the name of the business and stuff, and it had Plymouth Bobcat football, big blue letters about that high. Is that okay? I mean, can anybody just throw that on?
Yes, we haven't trademarked the name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope.
Board member concerns? No, that's good. I have privilege of the floor. We're going to go into non-public for one support staff nomination made by the superintendent. Ross?
Yep.